And good evening, and welcome to the Gamers Haven here in Spokane, Washington. My name is Paul Halling, and right now I'm here on behalf of Mr. RetroActive. I'm going to be bringing you, as more of the host here, uh, Star Wars X-Wing. Right over here, we're bringing in our expert commentator right over here, Joseph. Joseph's going to go up there and giving tactics all at the same time. And what he's going to do is, which he doesn't know yet, I might throw it out there, but you have to give your partner over here all your secrets as you're playing at the same time. Does that work?
Fine with me. Good thing is flying just X-Wing, so there are no real secrets. It's just one forward to victory.
That's why. Just come down here to the Gamers Haven. Right now we have a non-league match right over here, but we're going to keep bringing you X-Wing until they decide they don't want us to going on right now, which is really, really nice. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass this on over to Joseph right over here to get everything started for us.
Playing X-Wing. This is our first like that. So we're still fairly new to this, but we're getting our feet under us. So like you said, our league has ended, so we are now doing just kind of casual night gaming. And with that, since it is a casual night, we're just here for fun. We're not playing super competitive, so we may not move the ships the most proper way to do it would in a tournament or things like that. We may eyeball it. We're just here. We're here to have fun and blow stuff up. So we got a little bit different. We have Rebels versus a little bit different that people may not have seen. I'm actually not sure which movie or game or what it's from. Oh, it sounds like it's from Rogue One. But then we have two TIE Interceptors, which are from The Empire Strikes Back. And then there's the TIE Defender, which is from one of the, I think it's actually X-Wing or Rogue Squadron, I believe is where that one came from. So, but then I'm going to be flying 5 X-Wings. So I like my formation stuff. But tonight I wanted to do that instead of my Millennium Falcon build because I wanted to show off some of the customization that you could do with the ships. Is that the Empire ships here, they're all pre-painted and they look good as is. But if you wanted, you could get into some customization stuff. Like since I have 5 of them, each one of my ships have little pips on the back to show which number they are. But then I've also number coordinated them. So like this one here is number 3 as well. So you can get a lot of different customizations here. So I think we're getting pretty close to being ready to play. Okay, so let me go ahead and remove my. All right. So I think first thing is to roll for initiative. All right. So that's not a good start for me. I got 3 blanks. We got 1 hit. So this is not a good start at all for either of us on our. Oh, sorry, Paul. So to get into some strategy with this, because I am playing a bulky rebel list, what I'm going to be wanting to do is try and keep my guys huddled together, because my and if I can focus my firepower on one ship, that's going to be the most beneficial to me. My opponent has some kind of more frail ships, but they're more maneuverable. So what he's going to want to try and do is take his pot shots when he can, but try to survive as long as he can too. So another thing you can do against lots of numbers of ships is to cluster your rocks together. And that makes it so that way if I fly through them, I'm more likely to land on them. But if I were to spread them out, oh, I forgot. I didn't get my range rotors out. There we go. So that's what my plan is going to be is spread these rocks out and give me the biggest path to try and fly through as I possibly can. It's range 1 away. All right, and then you're set there? Okay. So let me go ahead and. So another trick that I like to do when I'm flying a lot of numbers of ships is I like to place the obstacles on my side of the board so I can fly past them and not have to worry about them. So just something else to consider. if you ever do start flying lots of ships, or vice versa, if you're flying small amounts of ships, you can place them if we forget about it. All right, and then my last one here. Obstacles are placed. We are going. Two is my. So mine together. So what I'm gonna probably do is pick one side or the other and see if I can catch you off guard with it. By maybe doing a fast move if you set up opposite, or um, try and slow roll to pull you into these obstacles. So that's what I'm gonna do is actually. All right, so my two is placed. So then we move on. I have a three. You have a three as well. Okay. All right. So then I'm going to set my three up. All right. I am set. All right. So
One. Testing. Okay. So how's everything going for you right now? For you and
Well,
the Master Blaster from right over there across the way. No, Master Blaster right over there. MB. That's what we're gonna call him. MB.
so far, I mean, we haven't moved yet, so not a lot has happened. But I think it's actually going fairly well for both strategies right now. It's because we do have the opponent won that one, so his 2 would go first. Okay, so he's going to use his ship's ability, which is adaptive ailerons, which lets him do a boost maneuver, which is a 1 straight, or a bank in either direction. I'll put it on the dice camera so you can see. So with that, that's the ship's ability, and now he'll perform his actual maneuver, which is another 1 straight. So base itself is actually 1.5. So since he moved twice with that ship, he actually got an extra 3 ship lengths worth of distance by doing that second maneuver.
I'm just going to ask him a question right over here. So, what's kind of your strategy for tonight? What are you expecting to be able to do here?
Well, I'm going to try to flank his formation.
So, what we're looking at is flanking is basically what they're doing is they're going to come out, then they're going to be turning out wide, either to the left or to the right. And then what they do is kind of like an old German pincer maneuver in a way where they're going to be. So, what is your strategy for tonight?
My strategy is just to go fast. I'm going to perform the Ricky Bobby tonight. I just want to go. My strategy is they're going to be trying to stay together as best I can and hopefully pick one ship and keep shooting at it until it's dead, then pick the next ship, keep shooting at it until it's dead, and hopefully that'll pay off.
Okay, so what faction is the Master Blaster here using?
He's flying the Empire.
Ah, so what would be some of the strengths from the Empire compared to maybe the X-Wing right over here?
Did you take your action? Okay. So what are some of the strengths of the Empire? So with that, the TIE interceptors are a very maneuverable ship.
Yeah.
So that way they can kind of fade in and out, either forward, backward, side to side, and try and reposition after, and hopefully not get shot. And the goal with that is to do what's called arc dodging. So what you can try and do is if you come in at an angle, I don't really have a good example, but if you come in at an angle like this,
Yeah.
and then do a barrel roll, you may get out of being shot and still be able to get a shot at your opponent.
Oh.
So those ships in particular are very good at that. The Empire as well is very good at flying numbers. So just generic TIE fighters, slap 8 of them on a board, they could take up a lot of room and do a lot of firepower.
Oh, there you go.
So then my 3 is number 4 here. He's going to do a 4 straight as well. Just try and keep in that formation. All right. All right, so my 3 has moved, so I got my 2 and my 3. And his 2 and 3 have moved, so now since he won initiative, his 4s will go. So then once his 4s are done, then my 2 4s will go, and then my 5 will be the last.
So my interceptors have sensitive controls.
Okay.
Which during the system phase, I can perform a regular. Oh, but we're not in the system phase anymore.
Yeah, so that would be before. If you want, because we didn't go into that, you could do it right now if you wanted. It doesn't bother me either way.
I will do that.
Okay.
We need to remember to do that.
Yes. I'll make sure to call out the different phases. So there are different phases in X-Wing. There's the planning phase, which is where you set your maneuvers. But then right after that, before the maneuver phase, there is a systems phase where you could drop bombs. Or in my opponent's case, he has an upgrade that lets him do a boost or barrel roll before the movement phase. So that's what he's doing now. Is we forgot to call out that phase to let him do his opportunity. So he's just kind of cleaning that up now. But then after the maneuver phase, which is where you move and do all your actions, then there's the engagement phase where you're actually doing your shooting. And then there's the cleanup phase. And then once the cleanup phase is done, you're back to your planning phase again. Did you take your action? There we go. All right, so it looks like our fours are done. Was there anything else you could do? We're good? Okay, so then I'll move my fours. And they're both going to do a right, and there we go. Now you can see that I'm keeping them all in formation. So my next guy, number 5 here, is going to close his S foils, reveal his dial, and do a 3 hard turn. And if I and now with his S foils closed, I can perform a boost maneuver. And get his nose right in his buddy's backside. So now that they're all tight in formation again. So it may have looked a little odd early on, but it probably makes a lot more sense now that they're all right on top of each other. So now that we're done with the moving phase, we move to the engagement, where we'll measure. Nobody is close enough. So the engagement phase is now done because there's no shooting. So then we're in the cleanup. Remove the green or the non-square token. Initiative first. So I have 1 focus and 2 hits. My opponent has 1 focus. So our focus cancels each other out. My hit wins the initiative. So I have initiative this round. So I'm going to show another little trick of formation flying here. Is that if I do the shown maneuver and then do one speed higher than that for my next one, let me find his dial here, number 4. And then we have number 3. Going to do one higher as well. When they get done with their maneuvers, they will stay in that nice, neat formation. And then with my back guys, I'm going to do this. And what that's going to do is set them up so that way they'll be slightly out of formation this round, but next round they'll be able to get right back into it. So while we're in the planning phase still, we'll go ahead and give a plug to Gamers Haven. Happy birthday to Bob. It is his birthday. Bob is the shout out to the restaurant, the Carvu. I ate dinner here again tonight because it is really yummy. Their Cajun burger is what I tip. But tonight we have 2 games of X-Wing going on. We had another group just moved up from Texas that I found out plays X-Wing, and they're going to try and start swinging by and playing some more. We have a little bit less of a turnout tonight because there's not a league going on. It sounds like some people may be traveling, but other than X-Wing tonight, I saw 3 games of Warhammer going on. We currently have 1 going on. There is a group of D&D. I see some Magic players, and then there's also some My Hero Academia players tonight. So got quite a variety of games. It seems pretty standard but at the same time is a little less fun. Of others hanging out is always fun. All right, so you saw my maneuvers here, what I'm going to do, and what that goal is to try and keep me out in that open space, and to slowly turn towards my opponent. I don't want to turn too hard towards him, because if I over, then that puts me in a tough position later. Is because if I overcommit and guessed wrong, then I am in a really bad spot. Now, then again, if I overcommit and I guessed right, it could put me in a really good spot. But I don't lose much by taking that slower move. I can let the information I'm gaining build and continue from there. So and I specifically mention that because my opponent has some things he can do in the systems phase. I like to be very structured in that, so that way we don't miss an opportunity in doing something. I like to try and play a clean, fair game. If my opponent forgets something, I like to try and let them go back and do it because it's about having fun and learning new lists. That's why we're here on Casual Night, is to just try new things, and with trying new things, you may forget steps. So, okay. So how did he get his stress token? Was that from the? Okay. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that we. Yep. Cool. All right. So then from there, you're done with that. So then I have initiative. My two can go first. Yep. Okay. So then my two goes. We.
Well, an Alien Gathering, another TV viewer, Danking Around, LaKaylee, Lyrics, The Ent, and Puginator 2020. Thank you for joining the stream tonight.
All right. So now that my two has moved, I'm actually going to be starting to plan my next maneuver phase. Even going to be flying down into the rocks, or he's going to be flying. So he's either going to be flying straight down into the rocks this way, or he may try and come through the rocks this way. So what I'm building and forming a plan right now is that I know this guy is here. He can either do a too hard to come in face this way if my opponent comes fast, or I can continue going straight if he comes in the slower way. So that's how I'm planning.
So when I'm taking a look right over here, oh, sorry.
So your two is done. I can.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. So then it is stop maneuver. So he can't move backwards, but he can bank. And then this will kind of give that example of what I was talking about, is that they'll stay in that formation. You'll be able to see it here once I'm done moving.
So from the guy over here, just looking back and just not played X-Wing, but about his flanking maneuver, what he's going to do, he's going to come down, he's going to be utilizing the asteroid field right there in front of him as good cover. I try to go over.
I wanted to do basically too hard here. With my other two, they're going to be going one slow, and what I can do is then do almost a pincer move on him. So that's what I mean by not overcommitting. Because if I had done a hard turn here and come down this channel, then that sets me up to then either have to fly through the rock, opportunity to formulate different plans from the same maneuvers. Oh. So you moved your three, so it's my fours now? Sorry.
Yes, it's your fault.
I just thought it would be nice if you wanted to interject too.
I'm pretty new at this game. I've only played like a half a dozen matches, so my grasp on strategy is not as firm as Joseph here. So,
And really, we're here to learn. So that's why I'm also opponent a way to learn and kind of this game. Again, we're here for fun, right? So if
and I appreciate all your help.
yeah, no problem. So my fours are done. So then I'm sorry, one of my fours is done. My other four is going to do a one straight, and then I'll move the maneuvering over to my opponent.
And they're really good. If you guys want to be able to play X-Wing, you definitely want to find the faction that's going to be best for you. And what's really nice that you actually see two different factions that are actually on the board. And the really nice thing about that is that you get to see, and then you get to see the tactics that they're going to be using Of course, they're going to be able to, like for the Empire faction, is that he could be able to put more on the board to be able to go up and make it look like that he could be able to overwhelm his opponent. To me, that looks to be more of an aggressive type of faction. In my eyes, is the Empire right over here, where the rebels don't necessarily have, or the X-wings don't necessarily have the numbers, so they have to really kind of rely on the skill of the moment right over here as they push forward. So those are some out with the factions that they're using.
Typically don't have the numbers advantage, but what they do have is I don't want to say quality because that's a kind of a perspective. But each one of my X-wings, they have an attack value of 3, where most Tie fighters typically have an attack value of 2. Now this is a little bit different scenario because all 4 of my opponent's ships have an attack value of 3, but my X-wings have 7 health. They have 4 hull and 3 shields, whereas these Tie interceptors typically only have 3 hit points on them, so they are much more fragile.
Okay, I get it.
So the numbers, they may not have the just very stat driven.
Yeah.
Hitting those natural statistics on the board,
Yep.
and a little bit of hand holding where they work together a little bit. Where specifically there's an X-wing named Garvin, who when he spins his focus, he can give that focus to someone else. So he's not on the board, but there is that kind of hand holding here. It's like,
Yes.
I can help you some, but I can't help you a ton. Where this is a lot more.
He's actually really attacking the asteroid field very, very well, because you're taking a look. There's a lot of confidence as he's going in.
Yeah, and with the TIE fighters being more maneuverable. Yep. And the nice thing about these interceptors is that they are good on their own.
Oh yeah,
They
you can
don't
see
need
that.
to stay. Typically, my mouse game is make me chase one
Yeah.
and have the others circle back around.
And that makes sense. And his aggressive play is that just because Gamers Haven here on West 1403 Broad Street here in Spokane, Washington. So if you happen to be down, come on down. We have plenty of card games going on. We got D&D. We got, looks like, some Warhammer going on. And now we got 2 games of X-Wing. So please come on down here to Louisiana Style Restaurant right down there. It's right connected to the building. You could not get yourself a finer meal and stuff like that. Just want to be able to meet all the great, wonderful people that here. It has a really great staff. Bob is doing a very excellent job right over here with how everything is running. And right now we're going to get right back to the game.
I thank you for that, Paul. So we are rolling for initiative here. I have 1 crit, which is the highest value. All right, so my crit trumps all of his, so I have initiative again. What I want to do. So in my view, like I had mentioned to Paul earlier, this TIE fighter can come up here. He could possibly swing back around. So I have to try and judge which one I want to go for. And really based on the positioning, I'm thinking I'm going to want to try and attack this TIE defender here. But how do I want to go about it, and where is he going to land? That's going to be the tricky part on what I want to do. So not only do I have to try and figure out where my target that I want to land is there a way that I can mess up my opponent's plan? Because
Now, how I'm looking at it right over here, he can either go cat and mouse or he can just go straight on the attack. I mean, he's in a perfect position. If it was me, and this is just in my humble,
maybe not to commit to the flank, or he does that. I'm widen my area of that, will be able to chase him after. Well, it's not too. You go first, and I'm going to do that too with this type. We did forget to do systems. Came down this way, then I do have an extra ship that he doesn't have, so I have the luxury of kind of tailing with him. So I guess another way to think about it would be like corral things. So that's what I'm going to be doing here, is hopefully use him to scare the other ships back into my other one. So we did, and it's a blank, so no extra damage. 3, right? Yeah, so you cannot do an action on rock. So we would actually roll that back. Yep. So you would fail the action. An obstacle. What happens? Okay. So then from there, my 2 would move. So now it'll be back to your 2 moving. So now we're in the actual. Okay. And is that with your ailerons or is that with your normal mover? Okay. Well, but your ailerons is not a maneuver. So you cannot. Yep.
Ah. See, the really great thing about it here too is that you get a chance to go up there and be able to learn all of the really good rules and stuff like that at the same time here. The really great thing about this league and about the players that are here is that they can go up there and take a look. And the really nice thing is that you get a chance to go up there and be able to learn. And that's the whole thing about being down here at the Gamers Haven, down here at this X-Wing group here, because there are excellent people here wanting to be able to teach you everything you need to know about X-Wing.
Since that's an illegal action, I'll let you just change your dial. You haven't chosen much ability here yet. So you do still have a stress token on him, but that way you can alter your adjust because. Yep, so that blue maneuver would clear the stress. Does that ship have a barrel roll? No, it doesn't look like it does. So with this, something to remember though is only if your ship lands on it or your maneuver template touches it. So if you were to do like a 2 bank and come down and your template does not touch, let me see if I can demonstrate it. Then you would be safe. So you could do like a 2 bank next turn and that'll fit and you won't have to worry about it. Even though your template would go or your ship base would go over, it doesn't actually touch, so you're good. So you're not as bad in a position as you may think. I'm right there. It does lessen your options next round, but you're not screwed. Okay, so then my 3 is going to do a 1 forward. And then we will focus. All right, then your 3. It slid. Okay. So we got a 3 bank, it looks like, coming in.
See, this is where the maneuverability really comes in, and you can be able to see it right here, going right into the asteroid field, going in hot, coming in hot. So right now, he's already got himself good angle, good set for right over.
Yeah, so I kind of dangled my number 2 ship out here. Like I said, he's there to try and keep him honest, but he's got a pretty good advantage right there. So, yeah, I don't think that boost will fit because you're sacrificing your focus token if you do a barrel roll. So if you barrel roll this way, you're really just getting closer to this guy and not having any mods. So what I'm looking at is he's got a good shot here. So he still has a shot. Can you lessen how many shots you're taking while getting in there? So another thing you might consider is can you fit a boost straight? Because that would get you out of these 2 arcs. So if you want to throw that in and see, and that way you can just kind of estimate from there.
I was just taking a look at right over here. My thought was, well, I've never played, but I'm just saying, I would have rolled to there because I'm back up here. right over here. So that either scramble two ways, because then I can either come around and end around you on this side here. That's going to cause those two guys right over there to either have to bank away because you don't know where the guy's going to be coming from. So that's when I'm a little bit more aggressive when it comes to certain things like that. So I'm a very aggressive player. That's how I would have done it because number one, I wanted you to do something for me.
So that removes his focus token, so he wouldn't have anything for defense.
I see what you're saying.
So what that does is that puts him into getting shot by two people.
Okay.
But by boosting forward here, he now does not get shot by these two. So he has a shot, is not getting shot at. And if these guys turn in, he's got the rock to cover it.
Yeah, see, the only thing I didn't know about the focus right over here, I was just looking at the way he had it set up. And because this guy was back here, the one thing I really liked about it was that even if he did, he still had this guy coming in. You know, this guy, and these things.
This guy still has to move.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
And it's going to be interesting because he had that. It's going to be interesting where he lands because he had that failed maneuver earlier. So it's not going where I want him to go.
Okay.
All
But
right.
to me, right over there, from a novice guy, from the back part over here, it looked like a really good maneuver. Seriously.
A little bit of luck, I won't hit a rock.
So
Well,
I failed
Bourbon was involved, right?
I failed my formation flying. I actually bumped into my guy as I came around, so I need to roll a dice to see if I take damage. A focus, I do not. So if it was a hit or a crit, I would have suffered 1 damage. But since I ran into my guy, I do not get to take an action. So that's my 4, and then my other 4 is going to do a 2 hard turn in. All right, and then here, I'm going to barrel roll to try and go on the outside of these rocks next round. And this way I can keep 3 guys still in formation. All right, so that's my 4s. So now we have his 4s coming in. All right. It's going to be close. Damage. And it takes a second point of damage. If you roll a crit on a rock, does that give a crit? Just a damage. Okay. And then that's on turf here. Okay. All right, and then the really brutal thing about that is that you're gonna fly over it again next round too, which is very unfortunate. But that's part of learning on how to fly through these rocks is that they can be very unfavorable, and that's why with these ace type plays you want to take these learning opportunities to come through the rocks like that and figure out how do my ships maneuver and how do I get through them, because if I can get through them and I can drag these X-wings through, I can let the rocks just pelt my opponent and let them suffer a lot of damage for free from me. So, and with his position, start a combat too. But our shortest distance is going to be this corner to the middle, and my 3 supercharged attack coming through. So that's my 5. So then, on the same guy, so this 4 will take the shot. 3 versus his 3. Nothing. So he's not focused. So, yep. So 1 point of damage in on that guy. All right. So then my other 4. Yeah, it's range 3 shot, so you'll get 1 extra green dice. So my 3. I got 2 hits that time. Versus 2 evades, so no damage. All right, so my 4s have shot, so now your 4s would get 2. This guy, it looks like, doesn't have a shot. This one's on the rock, so he wouldn't get to shoot. Yep. So then number 3 only has one opportunity to shoot. It's right here. So he's going to take the range 2 shot, it looks like. So my 3 dice, it is unobstructed. Or is it? Let me take a look at that, because it's going to be shortest distance. So it'll be this corner to that corner is the shortest. And I think because you're just barely on this side of the rock, I think it's going to be unobstructed. It's very hard to tell. But either way, I got 1 hit and 1 focus, so I'm going to spin the focus result to turn this one into 2 hits. So 2 hits coming in. So we got 2 evades, so no damage. All right. So then your 3 gets to shoot. That is a range 1. Yep. And then because it's obstructed, because of this corner to here would be the shortest distance, I would get 1 extra green dice. Yep. So 2 hits there. I'm going to spin the focus to block the 1. So I take 1 damage on number 2. Right here. So we'll remove 1 shield off the table. So the other nice thing about that is maybe you only drastically lowers my chance of hitting you and doing damage. So I got 1 point of damage, and we got 2 evades, so no more damage coming through there. So now your 2 would get to shoot. You should have a shot here. I'm pretty sure you got distance. Yeah, you definitely have distance. It would be obstructed, so range 3 obstructed. Yep. So I'll let my opponent roll, and then I'll show the dice here. So we got 2 hits. So I normally have 2 evade dice, and I get 1 for range 3 and 1 for obstructed. So that's why I'm rolling 4 dice now. And I got 2 evades, so no damage coming through. All right, so that was the last of the firing. So now we do the cleanup, and there's nothing to clean up, so we go to initiative. I got a focus and a hit, and my opponent got 3 focus, so he wins the initiative roll this time. So now we're in the planning phase. All right, so now that my my first ship here has done his job of corralling this guy deep into that corner, I'm going to be able to do this. And what that's going to do is open my opportunities to kind of swing back into a flank formation, hopefully. Now I need to figure out what I'm going to do with this mess, though. This guy's going to be pretty easy to decide. So what I'm thinking is, with number 4 here, I need to... I'm going to be doing this to try and come back in around and free up a little space for my number 4s here. So number 4 here is going to try and chase down this TIE fighter. It's ship number 3 because he's wounded, and I want to try and keep some guns on him and try and get him killed. So we will go this. We're splitting formation some to give chase because he is also splitting some. So that's the reasoning for why I'm splitting it now, is to yeah, I just lost my words for a moment. Basically, a few of my guys are like sharks in the water. They're smelling blood, and they're going to try and keep after it, where I'm going to still sort of keep a formation with the other 3 of them to try and pluck away at other ships and let my 2 chasers continue to do the chasing. All right, so I am done with the planning phase. Are you ready? All right, so now we go to the systems phase. Can you do that if you're stressed? Okay. Do you want to... Let's go ahead and rethink his maneuvers then. Just because I don't want you to get screwed over by not... I just didn't want to... So you... Oh, that would just be 2 shields, yep. That's okay. So another thing you could do during the planning phase is, yes, I had mentioned that piling up the rocks is favorable. As you get more and more confident, you can slide these closer and closer together. I think it's a good thing this game that you're flying through and you're fulfilling your tactics. So just something to think about and consider is that as you get more familiar with the ships and how they move, you can dial it in and be more tight with it. Too hard. Oh, but you land on the rock, right? Yeah. Nope, no stress. That's if you bump into someone else. Your opponent's ship. If you run into your opponent's ship, you can take a stress focus. Then your 3s. Or your 3, I guess. Oh, with your action thing? That's alright. Yep. Yep, so this guy will move next. Yeah, so then what you'll need to try and figure out, right? Because if you... Exactly, that's something to think about. Because if you think all 4 of them are going to come up here, then you can save your action for some probably going to come down here. He's actually going to be doing a straight, so he'll be right in. He'll still be in good shooting range of him. So thinking about that is good. After my guys move, he won't get shot. Maybe see if you can steal some more of that action economy for next round.
So what if he didn't have an evade and he just puts in a focus? What would that do?
So the focus and the evade pretty much equal out about the same on the defender here because of the odds of the dice.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But the evade is a guaranteed, where the focus it's more risky. Yes.
It's a lot.
Yeah, because you could potentially get 3 evades from 1 focus, or you could get none. Where this is the guarantee.
That's a guarantee evade. That makes sense right there. That's a good call.
Mathematically, it's about the same.
Okay.
All right, so your 3 moves, so then my 3 is gonna do a 3 hard turn down. And since he's not getting shot at by anyone, or not by very many people, he's going to go ahead and do exactly what I was saying and take that target lock, because if I don't use it this round, I can save it for the next round. Hopefully try and double dip on some of those actions. So my 3 is done, so then your 4s.
So just taking a quick minute right over here to go up there and want to thank Mr. Retroactive wants to thank the Game Bob and Gamers Haven here at West 1403 Broadway. in Spokane, Washington. As I said, come on down. We got a lot of games. Got Magics going on. As I said, we still got Dungeons and Dragons, Warhammer, 2 games of X-Wing. I'm telling you, we got plenty of people here. You can just hear it's getting loud and proud down here. So if you guys can, just remember, just come on back down here to the Gamers Haven. Mr. Retroactive will definitely love to see you guys. So come on down and say hi. And we're going to give it back to Joe and Joseph and the game we're playing.
All right. So then you're 4 down here. Yep. We are doing it 2. And then that's a blue maneuver, so it'll clear his stress. So I'll hand that back over. Then my 4s play more. So I'll just eyeball this. Something like that. And since it's my opponent that stress, because next round I want to try and turn around. So if I take that stress, it's going to be a lot harder for me to turn around. And if I don't turn around, I'm facing the wrong way for way too many turns. And because you stopped me there, I think I'm going to slam into myself again. And I will. So I come right back here. A hit, I do. So that is on Jack. He suffers 1 point of damage there. So that's all of our 4s. So now my 5 is going to do a 1 straight. Alright, so then with my action, like I said last time, I have that target lock, so I'm going to take the focus for a super-powered attack here. Is what the goal is. So now I have 2 modifications and a range 1 attack. So at the start of combat, Thane will go ahead and take that range 1. So I get my 4 dice. I'm going to spin the target lock to reroll the 1. And now I will spin the focus to turn the eyeball into a hit. So 3 hits and a crit coming through. We got 1 evade. Yep, so we'll spin the evade token, which will turn 2 evades. So that cancels 2. So we have a hit and a crit. Yep, but the crit, it goes to shields first. Two shields. Yep, so no critical, because the critical gets applied to the shields first. So just 2 points of damage. So then your 4s would get to shoot first. This one? Yeah, so let's see. You have the range 2 here, or the range 3 here. So something to consider. This guy, I like the idea because he has no focus token, right? But the other train of thought is this guy has damage, and it's a range 2 attack. So I only get 2 dice versus my 3 here. So there you go. That's a good. See, you're thinking about that follow up. That's good. So yeah. So with that, mathematically, you should get probably 2 hits. I said. Now, again, it's a dice game. Doesn't necessarily mean it will. You could put in 3, and I put in 0. So we'll see. So we'll spin the focus with shot. So I like that idea. Points of damage. Instead, your other 4 gets a shot, so he can focus fire into here. Is it range 2? Actually, it looks like it is. We'll get the 4 to 3 hit. Or do you want to try? Because this is my high pilot guy, high initiative guy. That's a really good shot coming into him. So let's see. I blocked 1 damage card, and then the crit, which is fuel leak. After I suffer a crit, suffer 1 extra damage and repair the card. So he now has only 2 hit points left. And any crits coming through that stick will kill him instantly. So that was good shooting. All right. So now my fours get to shoot. I will go ahead and. So my train of thoughts on this is I always take the shots that only have one opportunity first. So if which is this guy, he can only shoot here. So even though it's a bad shot, this is a range 0 shot, so I get no bonus. So my 3. And because I am touching, I cannot modify my dice. So it'll be my 3 versus his 3. So mathematically, I should not kill him. And we got shot here. But since we didn't, we'll take the range 1 shot here. So my 4 versus his 3. And I get 1 hit again. So again, mathematically here, he should be okay. We see that again. So your 3 gets to shoot, but he has no shot. So my 3 would get to shoot here. So I have a range 2 shot. Range 2. So I will take my 3. And he's got 4 hit points left. Yep. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and spin the target lock. Yep. For 2 hits. So here's 3. Oh, maybe you shouldn't have blown on him. So 2 points of damage. So 1 shield and 1 damage card. All right, so my 3s are done. Your 2 is on a rock, so it does not get a shoot. My 2 has no shot. So now we are on the cleanup. And then back to dials. All right, so my formation flying is falling apart now because we're in the later game. And typically that's how it goes. Is the later the game goes on, the more and more you fly out of formation. The trick is, can I get back into a meaningful formation, and do I want to? Or do I just embrace the dogfight? So what I'm going to be doing is my number 2 guy here, he's going to be turning around. He's going to do a turn this way and then face around. Number 4 is going to mirror him on the other side. And then this guy, as I slide my ships around, off to focus fire here. And same thing with this guy. This guy, I'm going to just try and get shots off before he dies because he's likely dead this round. And since he's that high initiative, I want to take advantage of that shot. I'm sacrificing him. He's going to die. But I'm at this location, and he also opened it up to allow us to stream. And he also reserves on Wednesday nights tables specifically for X-Wing and Armada. So we have priority. So we have priority on that here on Wednesday nights. So with that, though, we did have 2 tables of X-Wing. We had 3 tables of Warhammer. We have a couple tables of D&D. We have here My Hero Academia and Magic the Gathering. There's also the Creole restaurant right next door. So feel free to come on down and hang out with us. If you're interested in X-Wing, by all means, come in, talk to us. I would be more than happy to sit down with you, discuss what you need to get into the game. Do you want to play a specific style? Do you want to do swarms? Do you want to do medium-sized swarms like I do? Or do you want to do more ace play where you want to feel like Maverick in Iceman, right? Where you are flying the ship and you're trying to cater specifically to you. Because a lot of people, which only come, you'll come and hang out with us more. Yep. Yep. Yeah, so if your maneuver template, let's say you dialed a 3 bank in here, right? And it clears me, you fully do the maneuver and nothing bad happens. Or the same thing, if you did like a 4 straight, you would come all the way down here, flip around, you'd be perfectly fine, right? But if, let's say, you did a 2 bank and you were to stop right here, then realistically you wouldn't move at all because you would bump. Sounds like Jimmy got murdered, which I'm happy to see since he beat me so bad last week. So, all right, so we are set. Our maneuvers are down. We're gonna roll for initiative. I blanked out. Systems phase. Yep, good catch. And you're gonna choose to do neither. Okay. So your two first. Yep. Oh no, you should be fine. Are you doing a one hard turn? No. Oh. I think. Yeah, sure. I think you'll be fine either way. So what are you doing? Oh. So what way is that? That's. So let's see. You dialed in this way. If you go this way, would that save you? No. Since you're the first ship of the match, and you haven't gained any extra heart here instead. Okay. So we're good. And then that'll stress him out, right? Yep. All right. Because he's stressed, he would not have an action. Gonna 3 Talon roll. So this is a bit of an interesting maneuver. We're going to do the 3 turn, but then at the end of it, we're gonna finish the maneuver off like a barrel roll. So we'll actually come off to the side here, and then I can choose if I want to go backwards, middle, or forward. And this time I am going to go forward for 2 reasons. One, that gets me closer to him, so it's likely that I get shot. And 2, I might get a ring. Your 3. Okay. 4K. Yep. So one nice trick that I've learned, I noticed that you put this at range 2. So as range 2. So if you were, let's say you were just a hair inside, you could do it with confidence because you're within that range 2. Does that make sense? That makes sense. Yep. So when range 2 is more. No, range 2 is the same as a 5-speed maneuver, but a 5-speed maneuver is the range. So let's leave this template here. If you were right here and you did your 4K, you'll land right about here. So when I first started playing, I specifically stuck 1 rock at range 2 here, 1 rock at range 2 here, and 1 rock at range 2 here. So that way, whenever I was going to do that 4K, I knew for sure, manipulating with that placement, if you don't want to do all 3, if you wanted to do like 1 here, 1 here, you could group them close together at range 2, and that still gives you that eyeball for that entire board edge. But you can also cluster them up still if you want it. So, but an action because it's a white maneuver. All right. Oh, measuring for a target lock. Okay. So was that on Thane here? Yep. Yeah. So he's gonna continue shooting at Thane. All right. So then my 3 would be next. I'm gonna do a 1 bank. All right. So then there, I'm going to go ahead and take a focus token because I'm getting shot from here and potentially from here. So that's why I'm taking a focus. I can use it on both offense and defense. So then your 4s. Oh, okay.
Sneaking.
Yep. So then I'll hold the template if you want to put it down. Yep. Okay. So then from there, an action. Barrel roll. Okay. There you go. So then you don't have to go to the middle. You could go backwards or potentially forwards if you don't run into the ship. I don't know if you'll be able to or not, though. Nope. Okay. Okay. All right. So then your other 4. We know that each ship is 1 ship length, and then we'll do your 4 template, and then we'll just line that up with the with my template, and then you'll line up on the side here. Stress. So then another way to do that, so stress 3, and this is why I paint my dials, is because sometimes you move the dials around to get ships in, and that way they stay organized. So this guy's gonna move first. We'll do that 3 Talon. And in this case, I'm gonna move as far back as I can to give me maneuverability next turn to turn in and clear that stress. Because if I moved forward, it's not going to benefit me with this shot, so I'm going to keep my options open next round. So then this 4 is going to do it too hard. What was I thinking? This guy is right in the way. I'm going to slam right into him again. Apparently, I need to stop casting games and start playing more because I am just slamming as well. This all comes up because I did not set my original formation up properly. I'm not going to get that in there. So I'm going to do another trick I learned. So we're going to go out the side here. And then we'll go to the side here as well. Yeah, you might have blocked me here. So then I will take a target lock because of his action. Or he does have a damage card. So because I can look at a damage card and flip it up with his ability, I can spend a focus to do that. So if I have a focus, I'm kind of negating some of the benefits. So I'm going to go ahead and take it. We got the range 2 shot. So I'm going to spin the target lock to reroll these 2. Actually, you know what? I'm going to spin it to reroll all 3. All right, so I got 1 hit and 1 focus. I'm going to use his ability to spin the focus, look at your face down damage cards, which is only the 1, and then choose 1 to flip face up. So fuel leak. After you suffer 1 critical, suffer 1 extra damage to repair this card. So Yep, so that is up now until you either repair it or it repairs itself. So then 1 damage, and you get your range 2, so you're 3 defense. No, you roll for defense. So basically what I did, instead of spending a focus result to turn it to a hit, I spent the focus here. So there you got 1 evade, so no damage coming through. So then... okay, because they both have the same shot. Yep. So that's a range 1. Okay. Oh, unlucky. All right, so then your other 4. And I think that might also be a range 1. Yep, just barely range 1. Also unlucky. And I got the evade, so no damage. So mathematically, he should have gotten 4 hits through, and I should have gotten 1 evade. So I should have taken 3 points of damage there. So that was very unlucky rolling. Yep, so then my 4s. So again, I'm going to take the one with the fewest amount of options first, which will be this guy back here. He's got a range 3. So I got 1 hit. I think kills him. And more blanks. And I have no modifications, so it is 1 hit. Which, there you go, where he's already injured. Alright, so then that was range 2. There you go. Yes, it is. Okay. So, so you know what? I'm gonna suffer that 1 point of guaranteed damage because that will not kill me. I'll be alive with 1. You do not spin the target lock. Nope. You have to have the target lock on damage, and I have 1 hit point left, but I'm alive. So my 3 versus, and this is why it's still a dice game. You can math it out all you want, but it's still a dice game. Yeah. So he takes 2 points of damage then. So it was a tough call. 2 points. Which I think... Okay, so then this 3 would come off the table. He's already shot, so he comes off the table. And then your 2 does not have a shot. Then my 2 would shoot here. Range 2 shot. So then my 3... Ooh, 2 crits. Versus... He's got 3... Oh, 1 defense. Yeah. Takes it. So 2 crits. Ooh, and shields are down, so they will both be face up. Okay. We have disable power regulator, which is going to basically it'll take effect next round. Is you'll engage, take 1 ion. Since it's a medium base ship, it takes 2 ions to ionize you. So you'll have next round. the round after, and then you will be ionized. So then you'll do a 1 straight. So you'll get 2 rounds of moving and then a 1 straight. So something to keep in mind while you're planning. So then we're clean up. Yep. So my thoughts on this is I'm gonna continue. Oh, I think this is your. Oh, that's the defender, so it comes off. Okay. Keep you honest, and then the other guys are gonna come down here. And really, this time I'm gonna do 2 guys to keep you honest because I have so many more ships than you. I'm gonna use these 3 to chase him, and these 2 to try and track this guy down. All right, so we're set. Yep. Yep. So I got a crit and a hit. Focus. So I win the initiative roll. So then my 2 is going to do a 1 bank. Clear his stress. You're not? Okay. And then with this, I'm going to take a barrel roll this way because I know you're still going to move. And what this is going to do is move my arc over and actually backwards. So instead of only covering this backwards, it gives me a wider net to try and catch him. So then you're 2. All right, and we didn't give the plug to Gamer Saving here. All right, so we're gonna do. Can you do that while stressed? Nope. Okay, do you want to rethink your position? It won't matter. Are you sure? Okay. Opened up this site for us, so that. But here we're going to do. We have Armada and Legion as well. So if you play any of those games or are interested in playing any of those games, come on down. We have people here that can talk with you about them and kind of give you an introduction or help you get into it. So this was just a quick little plug this time because we forgot to do it during the planning phase. The planning was a little quick this time. But if you're like me and you're starting to get hungry, there's also the Creole restaurant next to our. So feel free to check it out. Yep. Make sure you do. Okay. Oh, so if you repair the card, then you can ignore it. Yep. So you rolled the blank anyways, but because your action was to repair it, you do not have to roll. Yep. So there, you're done here. So then my 3 is going to do a 3 bank. And this one, there's not really a good trick. So I'm going to have to spot this guy out the side. And then we will put Thane back. Here, I'm going to go ahead. I will not, so I will stay right there. And since I failed my action, I do not get to take another one. So then your 4. Here. And then we're going to 180 on the template itself. Alright, so since he stressed no action, so then my 4s. do a 1 bank. So since one that's injured, yeah. So since I'm not getting shot, I'm going to take the target lock for next round. And then this Jack is going to 3 Talon. Ability, after I receive a stress token, I can remove it. So I remove it, but in order to do that, I have to roll 1 dice. On a hit result, I suffer 1 damage. I got a hit, so I suffer 1 point of damage, so a shield off. But because he's not stressed, I still get to take an action. So with that, he's going to go ahead and take a focus token. So then this guy is going to do a 3 bank. And I will clear my own guy barely. Best way to do this is to spot him. And then we'll take the barrel action. All right, so then, so at the start of combat, my shot here should be range 2. So my 3 versus your 1. Do you have any damage cards? You do. So I'm going to go ahead and spin this. I have no results, so no damage. Oh, here, yeah. So it looks like 1 hit. Do we have anything else that we can use? It doesn't look like it. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So then, well, here I got 1 evade, so no damage. Okay, so then my 4s. Now I need to decide. Usually I want to take the more powerful shot second. Shot here first. Oh, and takes it all. Two hits and a crit. Yep. Okay. So it's weapons failure. He gets 1 less attack dice when he attacks, but he's already attacked, so it won't impact him this round. He can do an action next round if he wants to fix it, so it may not even impact him. But then my 4 and 2 points. All right, so then we are on. No, he does not have a shot. So then our 2s, your 2 would shoot first. You have the range 1. Yep. Ooh, look at that. All right. And I got 1 evade, so I block 1. So I take 3 hits. 1 hit to shield, 2 hit to shield. And 3rd hit is a damage card. So then my 2 gets the range 1 shot back. Okay. A force. Yep. So he's spinning a force to change the focus to an evade, so it'll only take one crit. Yep, so if he hits or lands on a rock, he'll suffer an extra point of damage. So that is not repairable. So that's one of my favorite crits to get, is because I hardly ever hit rocks, so I can just pretty much ignore it. And then back to Dial's phase. So, just like we talked about earlier, that's another trick you can do with it. So I have to figure out another way to turn around. Yep, he's still on the board. Yep. But since he's a 4, it's going to give me a tough decision. Because I want to turn around and keep chasing him, but I don't know who's going to move first. So it's a 50-50 on what you're going to be able to do. So I'm going to actually change what I would normally do because of that. So that's an interesting thing that they added here with this new form of X-Wing, is before you rolled for initiative at the beginning of the game, and that person had initiative the entire time. Where now you alternate between rounds, so you never really know who's going to move first. So before, I would have just done a 4K, a 4 straight, and then turned right back around, because I would know that his ship would move in front before me. Or if I knew he didn't move before me, I could do something else. But because I don't know, it's very risky for me to dial in that 4K turn. I have to anticipate. Yeah, I have to either take the coin flip to 50-50. Do I move first or do I move second? Or I have to anticipate what will happen if I move first and what will happen if I move second. That's actually going to play into effect here with this guy too. Because typically, if you're following and chasing someone, a general rule of thumb is if you can land where they were, you'll be able to continue shooting them. So what I would normally like to do is try and angle myself to land right about here. But because his ship is in the way and I don't know who's moving first, I may not be able to get that to happen. So now we roll for initiative. And I got a focus and 2 hits. And we got a focus and 1 hit. So I won the initiative roll. So I will move first, which is very crucial for here. Because if I did what I normally was going to, I would be screwed. So my 2 here is going to move first. We can do a 3 bank. So what I'm going to have to do is spot this guy. So that way I can move him out of the way. And then I'm going to go backwards because he's still going to move. And I want to try and give myself as most opportunity as I can to keep shooting at him. So that'll stress me out. We'll put his ship back. All right, bye, Jimmy. So then we got... Oh, we didn't do systems phase. Oh, but you were stressed, so we couldn't. So, okay. All right, so here we go. Okay. So we're going to use his ship's ability to go 1 forward. And then we are doing a 1 bank up. Yep, a 1 sloop. So the bank. Did you? Oh, you had it dialed in the other way, but it may have just been a mistake. Okay. Yep. So that's exactly why when I'm dialing mine in, I actually face it the way my ship is going to. Yeah, go for it. You're fine. You're fine. Yep. So that's exactly what I was saying. It's like I face the tip where my ship is facing, so that way it always, because flying back at yourself is difficult for that. There we go. So then we'll go the other way. Yep. All right. So then my 3. Gonna do a 2 bank. And then with my action, I will take a target lock. Oh, I am actually just out of distance, I think. I'm gonna set the mic down so I can measure. Yep, we are just short. So because I failed my action, I do not get to take another one. So then my 4s. And then I am going to number 2. He's going to take a target lock here. And then this guy is going to 1 bank. And then from there, he will go ahead and also take a target lock. Because it's 1 ship on 2, he can't kill both of them. So I'll save him up for next round, and hopefully next time I'll be able to get 2 strong attacks. Okay. 4 straight. Okay. All right, so that 4 straight splits the uprights, and he clears the stress, so now he has an action. So something he can think about with his TIE fighters is that they can barrel roll and then boost, or they could boost and then barrel roll with their ship's ability if they choose to. With this part down here, the auto thrusters. Yep. So you could potentially boost here and then barrel roll if you want. That doesn't seem like it's going to do you anything, though. You'll change the shot from here to back up here. You could barrel roll and then boost, which might give you a better shot on Thane. Or you could just take the focus. So shortest distance, it should be here to the basically straight on. So I think it should be unobstructed. He is still going to move. True. Okay. You're fine. So then you're going to do this. So then now is the thought. You had said to go one forward, right? Which will put you about here, and that's going to put your arc something like that. So where do you think he's going to land? He hasn't moved yet. You think he's going to move to about here, or do you think he's going to do a hard turn and come up? Because the reason I'm asking you, instead of there, we can move them both so that way you can see, right? Here, let's see that one. It's the hard turn up here. So visualize your different options. So then my 4, or my 5, sorry, is doing that too hard. So one thing in there, but yeah, no, you're fine. So just something to think about is I could have potentially boosted up here, so maybe you doing the one boost over might have been a better shot, but I'm going to go ahead and take the focus. But that's the benefit of moving later, is I have that option of choosing which one. Exactly. So I'm going to take this shot here. 2 hits and a crit. Wow. My dice have been hot. You got the evade or focus, so. Yep, that will come back. Yep. Block 1, yep. So that blocks 1 hit. So you'll take 1 hit and 1 crit. He's not quite dead yet, depending on the crit. Okay. Hard turns. Alright, so he's got 1 hit point left. So then my 4 shoot first, just barely range 3. Yep. And he's gonna go ahead and spin the target lock. For 2 hits. And 2 hits come through. That will kill him, but since we're the same initiative ship, you still get to shoot. We go through all fours, and then he comes off the board. So he will. I think it's a range 2. Yep, just barely range 2. No bullseye, yep. One hit. It could do it though. If I blank out. I don't. So nothing. Okay. So then my 3 has no shot. So then R2's my 2 would shoot first. A range 2 shot here. No. Alright. So same thing will apply. He will die, but he still gets to shoot because we're the same initiative. Yeah. One hit. Okay. I will spin the evade as a focus. No damage. That is game. You're welcome. Good game. I hope you learned something from it. It was. So. Yeah. But I think there were some good takeaways from it too. Is like placement of rocks, like we talked about the range 2s. Maybe spacing them out slightly more as you're learning to fly through the rocks. But you had a few good decision makings while you were shooting. Like your 2 shots that you focused here, that was a really good decision. Sorry, my brain is just racking through everything. There's so much that went on in this game. That was fun. Yeah, I'm glad you had fun. So, all right, let me grab Paul so he can give us an outro. I need to rest my voice for a little bit. So, thank you guys. You've been great. So, Dave's telling me to sit and spin, but I'll return the favor here and I'll actually do it.
And thank you very much. Okay, well, we're going up there. You guys got to see a very, very good and exciting match, but just also a very, very informative match, too. So I hope that you guys took a lot out of this over here, and all I want to do is to say it on behalf of Mr. Retroactive here, saying to the owner here at the Gamers Haven here at West 1403 Broadway here in Spokane, Washington. It's a great place to come, great place to be. There's going to be a lot of exciting events from everything from Dragon Ball Z Saturday to Warhammer Light Night. And also we have X-Wing here. We have people playing Warcry, and there's so many different things going on right now. We got Magic. We also got a paint night here. I think that's on Mondays here. That you can go in there, you can bring in your figures, you can bring your things. Come down here and you have people that are commissioned to go out there and be able to paint. And they can be able to show you. You also have Saturday BattleTech here. It's going to be here from 4 p.m. to closing. It's going to be up here. It's open play, so just come on in. There is just a lot of things going on over here. As I said, the staff here is absolutely excellent. And we also have a really wonderful Cajun-style restaurant here. And the food is fantastic. As I said, the staff there is awesome, too. So right now, on behalf of Mr. Retroactive, my name is Master Chief, 2011. Thank you, Joseph, for going up there and commentating through this whole process. We hope. Oh, did forget to go up there and do a couple of housekeeping things. Number one is that if you want to contribute to Mr. Retroactive, so we can be able to keep giving you this wonderful X-Wings and being able to bring this to you here live at the Gamer Studio, you can always on Twitch be able to subscribe. Now you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. Now the great thing about Amazon Prime, and basically it's not just for us, but it's for all the Twitch people. That people that come in here at Twitch, that when you go up there and you do something with Amazon Prime, they get 100% the proceeds going in there when you subscribe with that. And also, you got to be thinking, too, Amazon Prime is awesome when it comes to everything from Prime Gaming, Prime Video. Anytime that you need to order things, I order everything through Amazon Prime right over here. And let me tell you, the free shipping, and you get such great deals. And also that if you're doing things like vitamin supplements and certain things like that, you also get a percentage off if you go up there and you do their monthly subscription, basically. So you're always going to be getting all your vitamins and all your different things every month. So please go ahead and do that. And you can also be able to do bits and cheer those bits. And just not talking for Mr. Retroactive, but we're also talking about all the other streamers out there. If you happen to be on Facebook Gaming, remember we have stars right over here. You can be able to donate through PayPal or just go on to his website at MrRetroactive.com, and that will take you to everything you need to know about Mr. Retroactive. So on behalf of Mr. Retroactive, right now, he's been having a lot of fun around here playing games and talking to the people here. And for Bob and, of course, the Gamers Haven and Joseph right over here, I just want to bid you all a great night. And hope to see you guys here again next week. But also tomorrow, we're going to be keeping on Star Wars Month. We'll be at day 19. And please go to MrRetroactive.com if you want to see the latest in what's coming up. Because he's going to be doing a whole new week. And he's going to tell you exactly what he's playing. I hope you all have yourself a most wonderful night, and I will talk at you later. This is Master Chief 2011 signing off.